with another video. Hope you guys are well. Just want to say thank you to my subscribers for liking my content, you know, watching my content, being engaged. Even if you don't like, it's okay. As long as you're watching and as long as you're gaining knowledge from it, you know, that's all I expect, and that's all I really care about. If you're new here and you just happen to stumble upon my page, hello to you. Hey boo, go ahead, watch my content, see if you like it, see if you can understand my perspective on some things. If you do like my content, if you like my page, go ahead, like, subscribe, then hit that notification bell, okay? Yeah, so today's video is very important toward my era, toward this generation, simply because I need to relay this message, and I need to articulate this message to young women and even women my age or older than me. In my generation, there are a lot of negative role models. There are a lot of people who portray this image of something that negatively impacts the world. And perspective, you know, usually I just think, you know, I think of philosophy matters. Why is life meaningful? Why is life meaningless? What are we put on this earth to do? Why people aren't of positivity, expressing themselves in a way that could help, you know, the generation and a generation after them. Just to note, during this video, I will refer more so to women. My page, I'm pretty sure it's about like 99.9% women. So I'm just gonna use, you know, a few case studies stating the names, but I'm gonna use certain situations. I am gonna use certain characteristics. So one thing I really wanted to talk about is how a woman portrays herself. I think valuing your reputation and valuing representation is very important. You never know who is looking up to you. You never know who is being influenced by what you do. In this generation, there are a lot of women who hold themselves with no respect. There are a lot of women who talk as if they don't care, as if they're not careful about what they do and their actions and what they say, so forth. There are a lot of women who are okay with being used, who are okay with being abused, who are okay with being disrespectful, who are okay with being strident, who are okay, you know, with being negative. I think that that is the lowest quality that you can have as a woman. Not protecting your self-image, positively influencing other women. We have so much negative influence. Young women or women in general may not understand the differences between good influence and a negative influence. Good influence, and we're speaking on women, you know, I can't really, you know, I mean, I guess this can apply to men, but since I'm a woman, I can really speak on women, just to add that. But positive influence will be a woman who is respectful, a woman who is honest, a woman who is kind, a woman who is gentle, a woman who is firm, who won't allow you to take advantage of her, but she's still not strident, at peace. You know, she's not war, she's not chaotic. Now in today's generation, you see more of women who are disrespectful, who are very spiteful, very jealous, who are very vindictive, chaotic, who loves drama. That is not what you should value as a woman. You should not see these women who portray this image of being disrespectful, belligerent. A lot of women that you see on social media, on real life, a lot of them won't tell you that what their actions are doing is causing a bad reputation. And in some instances, okay, it's okay to not care about what people think of you, but to a certain extent, you have to understand that there are generations after generations coming after you. And if you have a lot of women looking up to you, you want them to look at the good. And the problem in today's society that we face, and the problem in today's community, in our era, in our generation, is that a lot of these children, a lot of these adults are focused more so on a negative. They're focused on the aspects that gives them thrill. Focus on the chaotic circumstances, on the things that don't matter. Focused on the negativity more than the positivity. Why you see a lot of negative influencers getting so much attention, you know, because a lot of people don't understand and they take heed to these women or men, but most necessarily during this topic, these women who don't even value them. It's a bit devastating because in the world you would think that the positivity is supposed to outweigh the bad. In today's generation, everyone is looking at negativity. Not everyone, but majority. A lot of people are looking at negativity and they expect things to happen and surround their life. They expect good attributes to come from whatever they learn from as it relates to these negative people. You have to understand that the enemy wants people to be manipulated. He wants to not know the truth. And I could say this because women in this world, they don't protect themselves enough. Because they don't have God in their lives. They don't care about the consequences. They don't care as long as it gives them thrill, as long as it feels good to them, as long as, you know, it gets them this viewership, then it's important. And that's the wrong way to think. There are a lot of women who have high amounts of viewership, don't teach whoever's viewing them to respect themselves. That don't teach whoever's viewing them to present yourself well. They're not teaching proper mannerism, teaching respect. They're not teaching to be at peace. They're not teaching to be a whole. They're not teaching to be complete. They're not teaching you to be secure. They're not teaching you to think about what your purpose is in the world, teaching you to respect other people. They're not teaching you to have that sort of decency, you know. And that's nowadays we are seeing women being belligerent and we're thinking that's okay. We're seeing women that are being chaotic and that's okay. Women that's disrespecting others and that's not okay. Manipulating people and that's not okay. This is where I want to narrow it down. It is not okay to be chaotic. It is not okay to disrespect yourself by giving your body to any man that walks up to you. It is not okay to objectify yourself. It's not okay to figure someone's reputation. It's not okay to be condescending to the next woman. It's not okay to bash your partner online. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is that we're only put on this earth for a certain amount of time. But you have to understand, these negative influences are not going to tell you that. Being strident, being vulgar, being disrespectful, being angry, you know, engaging in unnecessary warfare, that type of stuff will lead you to death. Understand. As a woman, I can say that I've learned from my past mistakes. I've learned from certain situations, and I have learned from the circumstances that I put myself in that nearly cost me my life. To explain this message to tell you what you see on social media, what you see around you that you think is so highly popular, so highly in demand, that is healthy for you. It will not be life-saving for you. You have to understand why certain things are vital. You have to understand and differentiate yourself when it comes to who you look up. A lot of these people that we see every day that portray this image of being cool and so forth and putting items before even God, objectifying themselves for either pleasure or because it's popular, because it's a trend. So you have to understand that if you're a person looking up to these negative influencers, you have to understand the things that could change the world. They don't think about purpose. Okay? They don't think about how to help others. They selfishness. And I say that because all of their actions that they show, they know that their viewership, they know that they have views, they know that people are watching. It's going to negatively impact them in their lives, and they're going to copy. And I don't want to hear the, oh, well, it depends on you. Have high fan base. You should know that people are going to follow what you do. There is always someone watching, okay? If you're teaching them to be chaotic, if you're teaching them to be disrespectful, if you're teaching them to not love themselves enough, to not objectify themselves, if you're teaching them to not even worry about what actually matters in life, what actually makes life essential, then you're going to take them down the wrong path. I do hold these people accountable because we are all adults. Well, there are some children influencers, but they're still, you know, growing up, learning things in the world. So the adults that have the decisions to make, do I want to show them that this is the wrong thing to do, or do I want to show them selfish and that I don't care, I just want them to look at me because I'm getting these views and I'm getting this money? You have to know when to differentiate certain things. You have to teach yourself to not be influenced by people who you know are a bad influence. Understand the differences between people who are ignorant and between people who are wise. You have to understand the meaning of why life is meaningful rather than why life is meaningless. You have to understand what you contribute to the world is what will linger. You have to understand that. And until you understand that, you'll continue indulging in things that don't matter. Indulging in things that will only give you to the pit. And yes, I get it. A lot of things are fun and you just want to be engaged in what's most popular and what's most thrilling and what's the latest trends and who's doing this and who's doing that. And it's so fun. It's so much of a thrill until something bad enters your life. Until you have this circulation of negative circumstances that happen, and then you wonder, well, why did this happen? Because you allowed those people who negatively influence you to your life. That's the problem. So I'm here to tell you that if you're watching my video, that you must have your own mind. You cannot be easily influenced. The only time you should be easily influenced is when you know that it's the right decision to make, because they're feeding you wisdom. Wisdom that's not going to take you to the pit. Wisdom that's not going to deteriorate your spirit, deteriorate your soul. It's not going to allow you to sell yourself for money, to objectify yourself, to indulge in selfishness rather than selflessness, you know, things like that. A mind of your own. Do see things, you have to learn how to differentiate it. You have to learn how to separate what is ignorant, what is intelligent. A lot of people, they don't want to tell the truth. A lot of people prevaricate a lot. And that's the reason why they have so much viewership, is because people don't know. They're ignorant. They don't understand because they don't know how to differentiate. That's why you normally see the people who negatively impacts the world with the most viewership. They're liars, they're fabricators, they're selfish, because they think of things that don't matter. They think of meaningless things. That's why you have to understand that. And that's why you see the people of wisdom not getting as much. You have some, there's a handful, positive influencers, you think lame, or you think, you know, they're not exciting, you know. But really, they will come in handy once you need them. So crazy to say that this generation is so manipulated. The enemy has them so confused that they think the bad things are good and that the good things are bad. And it's all switched up. It's all screwed up. I will articulate more within this message in some coming videos to insert this message about knowing who you allow to influence you. Just sit back one day and think, is this person going to help me, you know, contribute to the world, help me be mentally sane, be healthy, help me to fulfill my purpose, help me to be a better person? Or is this person going to teach me how to be disrespectful, going to teach me how to be chaotic, going to teach me how to just lust and not love, going to teach me how to be selfish and not selfless, going to teach me how to wild out when things don't go my way? You have to understand that. To walk with the Lord Jesus, you have to understand this, because the enemy can access to your mind whenever he wants to, access to your body whenever he wants to. He uses people just as God does. But because you're manipulated, because you don't have that certainty, the enemy can do whatever he wants with you. The enemy can bring whoever he wants to you because you don't have that protection of the Lord Jesus. In our generation, you know, they don't understand because of who is more popular or who is well known. If you were to ask, do I agree with the way my generation is representing themselves? No, I don't. Because it's not going to benefit the next generation. They're going to look at those actions and believe that they're correct when they're really wrong. It really can cost them their lives. It can cost them what they're worth. For you to listen to the good people and not fools. Because fools will only keep you down. And people of wisdom will sustain you. Yeah, I guess that's it for this video. I'll save some more for the next time I post. You're young. Don't look at me, from me to you. Do not look at the people who are teaching you bad influence as a good influencer. Pay attention to their actions and what they do. A person's actions will tell you everything about them. If you are listening to people who won't benefit your life, who aren't enforcing you to be a healthy individual, enforcing you to be a peaceful individual, forcing you to be respectful, and forcing you to hold a good representation, you to hold a good reputation, and forcing you to think about the meaningful things in life. They don't teach you that. If they aren't teaching you that, then you should not be listening to them. Because if you do, it will cost you your life. It'll cost you your sanity. Okay? Yeah. That's about it. I'll stress this a little more in a future video or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you're new, once again, you know, go ahead and watch my videos, see if you can understand my perception on things, see if you can understand my perspective. And if you do, go ahead and like the videos, go ahead and subscribe, and then hit that bell. So yeah, that's about it. I'll see y'all next Monday. Peace.